Welcome to another episode of I Need to Know. I do it every show, and Art hates it, but who really cares, all right? I am Snacks.
I'm Art.
Are you going to do that every time I do that?
Probably every time.
Very special guest on the show today.
You know, I haven't seen this guest in a while.
Really?
I haven't. I mean, I've talked to her a couple times, social media, stay in touch, but I haven't, actually seen her or talked to her in probably a couple months.
This guest and I spent a lot of time together. Did a morning show together.
Exactly.
Worked together, of course. And she is on the show today, ladies and gentlemen, and she doesn't hold back either. We have a bunch of friends that just really don't hold back.
You bring drinks, don't hold back. What's better than that?
I need to know. Here she is, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show, Miss Leelee.
Hey.
Have you ever been a bartender before?
I went to bartending school,
Oh,
but never
where?
was a bartender.
Where?
Wow.
Where's the school at?
It was in Fresno. So when I first turned 21, my best friend and I.
So last year?
Yes.
Got it.
I know.
Okay.
Thank you for making me look.
We never talked about this on the morning show, though.
I don't think I ever
You
came
feel like
up.
you know people,
Yeah,
and
you
then all of a sudden you just find out new stuff.
You know, I may be small, but I'm full of a bunch of surprises.
Okay, cool.
Hey, I like it.
We have worked together. Remember, you
That's
came
true.
on the morning show
That's true.
with me one time when Snacks was out of town.
Probably
and
shouldn't bring that up.
he got me in trouble.
Yeah. I thought.
Have you ever heard this story?
I thought that particular morning show episode was phenomenal. We had great callers. Mary and I, Leelee and I were talking great. We went on break, and Mary got sent home.
That
What
was
was y'all talking about?
No, I don't think it was that. I think it was I wasn't cleared to come on yet.
Yeah.
We didn't say anything bad. It was just they didn't know that you weren't gonna I think they knew you weren't there, but they didn't know someone else was gonna be on.
Yeah. Guys, we're wrapping up 2020. We've all been through our own shit shows this year.
Yeah.
We're gonna need some drinks, Mary. You are a bartender. You can pour up whenever you're ready.
Well, I did go to school for this.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of pressure.
So-
I'm gonna scoot my glass forward.
And
Who is the most favorite uncle? Who goes first?
In the words of Snacks, we don't play favorites on the
Yeah.
show, so we're equally as
yoked.
It's I don't eat eggs, but I know what you mean.
Equally yoked. While you're pouring, though, the name of the show is called I Need to Know.
Yep.
And we invite our friends on the show. If you're first time watching the show or episodes, we invite our friends on the show to basically just ask anything that they've been wanting to know. You fill in the blank. I need to know, fill in the blank. So we let Miss Leelee decide what she wants to talk about on today. And I think she has a lot on her heart.
Oh, yes.
And I'm excited.
I feel
So where would you like to start? Once you pour your drink, and we'd be good. I like these pours. Yeah.
right?
She's so nice about it.
Yeah.
I really
I'm
like it.
trying. I'm trying to even make them even.
I feel like they use this glass in communion at church.
I'm sure they do. Should I wipe everybody's?
No.
No, I think we're
Glass
okay.
down?
I'm gonna let it open up while you ask your question.
Okay. Well, I like to start with the cheers.
Cheers
Yes,
to you.
I like that.
No.
Cheers.
I like that.
To a
Cheers.
good conversation
Yeah.
at the end of
So-
2020.
Yes. Oh my goodness. What a year. So my question,
Okay.
because I've heard this many times, and I'm going through a personal situation,
Okay.
and I've been told this many times by men that I need them, and good luck surviving without them.
Mm.
So my question is why do men have such a hero complex?
Ego and boastful.
I can see that.
That's all I got. Ego and boastful. and it's more of, it's also the time put in, time spent. Now I don't know the whole situation, but when you spend an ample amount of time with someone, you feel like you've given them so much of you, and then you feel like they're turning or pulling away from you. That triggers something. Like that triggers, like, yo, what's happening? Like, what are you doing? And then I don't know the situation, but I'm assuming they feel like I've been supporting you. What have you been doing for yourself? Now that may not be technically true, but in most instances, that's probably what it is. But it's, at the end of the day, it's ego and being boastful.
To say that statement, I think you're neglecting how resilient people are. And so to say like, oh, you need me for this, maybe right now because, we were together, but that doesn't mean that I can't get it on my own. And so I think by you saying that is like you trying to project your doubt about me onto me, I don't have to accept that. I'm like, no, you know what? Matter of fact, the fact that you said that, I'm going to get that and then some. Because you said passively that I can't do it without you.
I need to know, I guess, how have you, if you've been hurt in the past, how have you gotten over pain or the agony of being in pain? Because you know it's not easy.
Oh no, it's never easy. Ever.
Because it's things that come back to haunt you. It's the perfect memories. It's the moments. But then things again switch up on you, and you be like, "Yo!" So how do you get over? How have you gotten over the pain and agony? We'll start with you, Leelee.
Well, past, it took me because I've been in 2 major relationships in my life. The one that ended most recently, and a one that I was in like over 5 years ago. And I was in that relationship for 5 years. And it was a horrible relationship. He was an alcoholic. He was emotionally and verbally abusive. Again, told me I needed him and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And when it ended, it took me a good 5 years to get into another relationship. Because one was terrified to get into another relationship because I didn't want to be in the situation that I'm in now. I didn't want to be hurt again. I didn't want to feel insecure again. And so it took me a long time. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I had meaningless relationships. Well, I wouldn't even call them relationships. It was situations.
Yeah, situationships.
You know, situationships.
Who hasn't had those? Who hasn't had those?
And, you know, because one, even though I still, like, I'm probably still healing from that relationship, because I don't think you ever 100% get over an abusive relationship. You know, I was learning to deal with that pain and trying to heal from it myself. And even though I still have scars from it, I needed to take that time for myself to build that confidence back in myself, to learn who I was again compared to who I was in that relationship. And I think some people don't take the time to heal from pain, and they think out of sight, out of mind is like, I'm fine. But that's never the case. If you don't deal with your pain, which we've all gone through pain, we've all gone through different types of tragedy, different types of pain, and some of us deal with it, some of us put it in the back of our mind and say, I'm fine. I dealt with it because I'm not thinking about it. But not thinking about it is not dealing with it.
It's running away from it.
It is.
I'd like to welcome everyone to Leelee's TED Talk on dealing with pain. If I was to directly answer the question, like how do you get over that pain, personally, I don't think you ever really do, and I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, though, because kind of what you said, I think that pain, let's say if you even broke it down to like as a child, like, you know, if you touched the hot stove, that pain reminded you not to do that again.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't think you ever really get over the pain of like a previous relationship because of those lessons that you learned from it. Now, I think to your kind of line of thought in terms of like if you don't deal with it, then I think that pain that you're not dealing with blocks you from learning the lesson that you needed to learn from that pain, and you're not taking the time to figure out yourself, and then you just keep making the same mistake over and over again because you're not dealing with that pain, crying it out or being single, whatever, however you potentially deal with it. But I mean, I think the day-to-day pain that I'm sure we've probably all felt in terms of the sleepless nights, the tears, the loss of appetite, and those sort of the anger, like all those range of emotions, I think over time probably die down some, you know. And you know, that may be a little bit of the out of sight, out of mind, or that may be, you know, you two sit down and have a conversation about, you know, whatever may be on either one of your hearts. But I think the pain of like that person leaving or whatever it ended or whatever it was that was negative, I think that does stay. You know, I mean, I use myself personally, kind of like you did. I've had, multiple year relationships, and they didn't necessarily, obviously end, or they obviously ended, not them. And that's painful, and you have those day-to-day pains.
Yeah.
But I think the pain of like that person no longer being in your life, I keep with me because it helps when you do start to talk to somebody else. Because you can say, okay, hey, I remember like when this happened, understanding they're different, but I'm also different. But this is why I'm different. So I don't want to forget.
I think the tough part for all three of us is trying to understand from the other person, how do you miss the good in you?
In like what sense? Like the good in like in
Like
the person or themselves?
No, the good in like us.
The other person.
The other person. Like, so how do you miss the good on how well I treat you? How well I respect you? How well I protect you? Care for you? Spending time with folks I would never spend time with. Like, how do you miss the good in that to go back to something toxic, or to go back to something? Let's just say my sister said it best, that for people, because she's one of those people where she falls to toxic, but that's comfortable for her. That's what she's used to. That's what she's normal. But it's like, at what point do you want to run from that and go to something that's good for you and healthy for you?
How much do you guys, let me use the word, buy into the importance of a person's love languages? Not so much talking about, I know there's a book and there's a test. I mean, if you've done that or what have you, but
I've done it for myself.
I've honestly just got into love languages.
Well, and the reason, and I think that's great. I mean, I too, maybe within the last 6 months or whatever, just kind of reading up on it. But
Hold on one second. If you don't know what love language is, I highly recommend Googling that.
And then, as a matter of fact, if you do that, then comment below what your love language is. That'd be great to kind of know. But the reason why I ask that is because I think, maybe to your question, when people run back or accept a particular type of love, if you will, that could be their love language. And I understand that particular book and study, a lot of those things are all positive, in terms of words of affirmation or, gestures or whatever it may be. But like, I've said it before, some people like to fight. That's how they communicate. You know what I'm saying? Some people like toxic relationships where they fight and this person leave, but they come back, like they love that passion of it. Someone on the outside would look at that and think that that's extremely like negative, and why would you like that? But if they continue to go back to that, that's what they enjoy. And I think I've said it to you on, separate occasions, like, I think what'll drive you crazy is trying to understand how other people are thinking. Like, how do you not see the good in me, or why do you see the good in that, or why do you like that? I don't know why you like that. That's on you. You know what I mean? Like, and I can only try to understand so much, and then I just gotta let you be you, because that's what you like to do. And so now I gotta make the decision: do I want to like that with you? And if I don't, well then I'm gonna go over here. I
can never be toxic.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna go over here and you go over here.
I don't want to say 100% sure, because I do know people who are in relationships like that. Like, they're in relationships and all they do is fight and break up, fight and break up. Like, every week, fight and break up, fight and break up. And some of that, not necessarily maybe their love language, it might just be that's what even they grew up seeing. So that's the only thing they know. And so when they see a relationship, they emulate the same thing because that's the only thing they know. Or every relationship they've ever been in has been like that. So that's all they know. And until you take the time to understand, why is this happening? Why am I still in this situation? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Why are they doing what they're doing? You're going to continue to be in the same patterns, because we are people of patterns.
I think what's, and I speak general when I say we, everybody, you want to be an individual. You want to have, your own thoughts. You want to have your own actions. But I think, you have to accept the fact that, like, you're going to emulate what you see.
Yes.
Now, of course, your feelings are personal and you feel them. But like you said, if you grow in a household where love was, being very affectionate was what you always saw, or being abusive is what you saw, or giving the cold shoulder for the littlest things was what you saw. You can't be surprised that you repeat that.
Can you just say it one time for me, Art? Just say it one time for me. I'm getting this made on a hoodie. I'm guarantee you. Can you just say it it's the best quote.
Listen, it's a little negative.
I don't know, it's not. It's true.
It's a little negative.
You're just too sweet. You're just too sweet.
But
teddy bear, just give it to him.
Through experience, you just have to accept that some people are just trash people. Gotta accept it. Leelee done knocked herself out on the bar. And I don't always, and listen.
I'm getting it made on the shirt.
I don't want it to just sound like, calling people that, like, everybody or whatever, just because, you or them didn't work out, or, whatever it might be. Like, I didn't work out with them or whatever, but it's just like...
It's the best saying.
I don't know how else to really... even... Let me just back up. Even when I say that, I just mean in terms of, like, for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that person is not for you. So, the trash part, obviously, that's, current slang or what have you. But what do you do with trash? You throw it away. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't for you, you're done with it, whatever. So that person is trash for you because y'all don't get along. That's why you need to throw that person out. And then, if you wanted to use that trash metaphor, when you throw something in the trash, how often do you go back and get that? You don't. So when you throw it away, you are done with that. Which would lead me to my next question on, I need to know why so many people go back and get that trash. Why do so many people go back to their exes?
Making it hot in here.
And I feel like I can ask y'all that question, but I know you're not going to give truthful answers.
From my experience, because I am that type of person that I do go back.
Okay.
I do go back. And it's not because I like how I feel when that person made me feel like crap. And it wasn't that I want them to continue to treat me like crap and make me feel insecure about myself and that I agree with them doing that. I'm the type of person who I have faith in people. I have hope in people. And you can call me a hopeless romantic, however you want to word it. I want to believe that people can change. And maybe I watched too many romantic movies. Blame it on Disney. I don't know. But, I want to believe that, people can work out their problems. Because when you work out your problems and you work out your situation, you can come out stronger and better. But what I've learned is both people have to want to work on it. And it's not just being there and being present, saying things are going to change, because being there and working on it are two different things.
Well, and I'm going to let you go, but I want to back up just because in the culture that we're in today, I don't want to get canceled as a person. So let me back up and say that from the older me, okay, not the 20-something-year-old me. The older me wants to be very clear that I'm not judging anybody that goes back to exes.
No,
because I think what you just said is a very key point, and in so many cases, from my friends, I don't see that happening, and so that's why I asked the question. And what I mean is, I think it is very important that both parties must be committed to making changes in themselves in order to be the best version of themselves for those people. Because I too believe that people can change. But I think that people change because they wanted to change, improve on themselves, and then they found themselves, quote unquote, back into a relationship with someone they dated before. But that doesn't always happen. What I haven't seen a lot with my friends is A and B date, B does something, they break up. So they don't talk to B for however long. Then all of a sudden they get around each other, and on the surface it looks like this individual has changed. And so they're just like, boom, let's just get back into a relationship.
Yeah.
Then 4 months, 6 months down the road, they're having the same issues they had before. And I'm like, listen, I'm not saying that y'all can't get back together and it may not work. But I feel like before you do that, you need to have an honest conversation, not just about the past. Y'all were both there for that.
You need a tissue?
No, I don't.
It's more like, how are we actually going to move forward? You know what I mean? Like, what really has changed? So I think it's very important, to be repeated. I think it's very, true that those relationships most definitely can work out. And I'm sure there are millions of people that have dated, broke up, dated, and,
figured it out.
Married for 50 years. But it's because they both wanted that to work, not just because they are around each other again and hung on to some old memories.
Yeah. I have nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
All right.
Nothing.
It's a good song. It's a very good song.
I have nothing.
But no, I mean, I think all of this, is really good. I think we touched on a lot of great topics. We appreciate you coming.
Incredible
sharing your thoughts.
Having me. I really enjoyed it.
Did you want to share anything, social media, anything with the people? Where can they find you at?
Finish my wine.
He's gonna down it. That's Snacks' mode.
I'm gonna let you do that. But anything you want to tell the people before we get out of here?
Yeah, follow me on Instagram at Don'tCallMeMary86.
Thank you for joining us here on I Need to Know. Thank you so much again, Leelee.
Thank you.
I am Snacks.
I'm Art.
And we'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Oh, God.